It is brew day and we are brewing our Matilda Hoppy Lager. So Jace came up with this recipe. Matilda, so for those of us born in the 90s and forward who didn't know what this was, Matilda was the mascot for the Brisbane Commonwealth Games in 1982. So we have Morgan's Blue Mountain Lager. This is the lager that comes in their starter kit box too. So if you're looking at getting started, that's what you're gonna brew with. We've got our gold blend, we're brewing to 20 litres and only brewing a mid-strength. And then hop-wise, we've got Amarillo and Centennial. So both of those are gonna go in there. And we've got our California lager yeast. So this one's got a brew temp between 18 and 20 degrees. We're gonna try and keep it on the lower end of that and nice and cool, but not as cold as a typical lager. So we've got about 20 minutes to put this guy down. All right. Oh. Yeah, I'm in my water go. All right, so start off with a bit of water. I usually aim for about 10 litres. I think I'm up to about 8 litres today. You can use warm water if you like. It does make the malt a little bit easier to dissolve, but like I'm using a lager yeast. So yes, the California lager yeast does let you ferment a little bit warmer compared to your lager yeast that are sitting at, 8 to 15 degrees, but you still don't want to start your beer off too warm. And on a side note, the coolest little homebrewing hack that Sonny ever taught me was opening the bottom of the can. One, because the caps are actually super hard to remove, but because we always opt for a specialty yeast and we don't use the yeast under the tin, it actually makes it so much easier. As a standard, most of your tins are going to have an ale yeast. So if you're typically someone who brews a kit and a kilo or a kit and using that yeast under the tin, be aware that it is an ale yeast. So if you want to make something like a lager and you want it to be a true lager, consider switching that guy out for a lager strain. All right, so our gold blend. We've got dextrose, multidextrin, and light dry malt. We're making a mid-strength beer. You obviously can double that to be the full kilo if you want a heavy, or even add another half kilo of dex if you really wanted to bring that ABV up a little bit further. So we've got an ABV tolerance of 9% for your California lager, so it would be able to tolerate quite a large amount of fermentables. To make sure you get all of your malt out of your can, just top her up with water, get your spoon in, give her a bit of a stir. If you are using warm water, you will only have to probably do that once and you'll have pretty much all your malt dissolved. Oops. Stuck to the side. So we've taken a real liking to using our basic extract cans and making different recipes from that. So we really enjoy hops like Amarillo and Centennial, so hence playing around with the idea of making a hoppy lager, but also Morgan's Blue Mountain Lager, even their Australian lager, you can brew really beers like Great Northern and use that as a base as well. All right, so we've got a starting gravity of 1,000 and 34. Pitch our California Lager yeast. Lid's on, she's going to start fermenting. 2 days out from kegging, we're going to dry hop with the finishing hops. They're little tea bags, super easy. Because we're not fermenting under pressure, we will just throw them in those 2 days out. And we're not brewing in a fridge, so I'm going to show you how we're going to keep it cold in the shop to stay between that 18 and 20 temp range for the yeast. Right, so this is our Firmzilla cooler bag. It works like an absolute treat. We've got some frozen ice packs, and basically every morning we will switch them out, and I will keep you updated on what type of temperature we achieve. But in the past, I have easily sat at 16 degrees using the ice packs and the jacket. Quick brew temp update. So on our lager that we put down yesterday, we're using the Firmzilla all-rounded jacket with a couple of ice packs. We're sitting between 16 and 18 degrees, which is absolutely perfect for that California lager yeast.